Last time, we explored why civilization began beside rivers. Water, fertile land, transportation. Where those three things met, civilization flourished. At the center of it, all the land between the Tigris and Euphrates. Mesopotamia. About 5,000 years ago. Southern Iraq. Between the Tigris and Euphrates. The world's first city was built. Its name was Uruk. At its peak, more than 50,000 people lived within its walls. Nowhere else in the world looked like this. In this city, humans created writing, recorded law, and conceived of the state, all for the first time. Today, Mesopotamia, the story of humanity's first civilization. Uruk was not simply a large village. At its center stood an enormous temple, called a ziggurat, a stepped pyramid. The ziggurat housed the gods. But it was also a warehouse, administrative center, and astronomical observatory. Around the temple were warehouses, stacked with grain, oil, and cloth. Records were needed. How much in, how much out? Who paid taxes, who didn't? And so cuneiform writing was born. It began as simple pictures. An ox as an ox. A fish as a fish. Over time it became abstract. A full writing system. One of the greatest gifts Mesopotamia gave humanity was law. Around 1754 BC, the Babylonian king Hammurabi created humanity's first written legal code. About 282 articles, carved into a black stone pillar 2.25 meters tall. Still on display at the Louvre in Paris. An eye for an eye. A tooth for a tooth. This famous principle comes directly from the Code of Hammurabi. Revolutionary for its time. Not punishment handed down by a king's whim. Punishments differed between nobles, commoners, and slaves. The same crime meant different penalties by status. By modern standards it seems unequal. But written law was a monumental leap for civilization. The Sumerians who lived in Mesopotamia left behind a remarkable list of inventions. The wheel. Around 3500 BC, the first wheel was invented in Sumer. It began as a potter's wheel. Applied to carts, it triggered a revolution in transportation. The sexagesimal system. 60 minutes in an hour. 60 seconds in a minute. 360 degrees in a circle. All of these come from the Sumerian base 60 number system. The oldest recorded beer recipe. The world's oldest known written beer recipe is preserved on a Sumerian clay tablet. Beer was used in religious rituals and paid as wages to laborers. And the Epic of Gilgamesh. The world's oldest surviving work of literature. Kings and monsters. Floods and immortality. The first time humanity put a story into writing. Over thousands of years, many empires rose and fell in Mesopotamia. Sumer, the people who built humanity's first urban civilization. Akkad. Around 2334 BC, King Sargon united the Sumerian cities and built humanity's first empire. Babylon. The great power, where Hammurabi created his law code and unified all of Mesopotamia. Assyria. Feared for its brutality, yet it also built great libraries and preserved knowledge. The region had no natural defenses. Only rivers and open plains. It was constantly exposed to invasion from outside. In 539 BC, the Persian king Cyrus the Great conquered Babylon. But what they left behind did not disappear. Writing, law, mathematics, astronomy, literature. It passed to Greece, then Rome, then to us. 5,000 years ago, on the plains between the Tigris and Euphrates, humanity built its first city, wrote its first words, and made its first laws. So much of what we take for granted today traces back to those plains. Next time, we turn to another civilization that lit up the ancient world. Egypt. The gift of the Nile. Land of pharaohs. Pyramids, and 3,000 years of secrets.